streams and deadly laser beams, a full-scale attack. Can he hold them back? This is a dangerous place. The city's a waste with battlegrounds epic. Both sides are pummeled and fried with nuclear eyes and death rays electric. Yes, he is destructive. We have seen this in the past. But as it turns out, it's an advantage that he has. Save the lizard, he will kick their ass. The air has gotten thick.
Welcome to the Sunday BroBryceHealth live chat. My name is Bryce L. Tomlinson, and after much technical difficulties, posting it also on Twitch. So this is this live chat that you see here is a combination of Twitch and YouTube, and it's going to be live recorded on both Twitch and YouTube. And hopefully y'all over there in Facebook land will join us over on YouTube land or Twitch land and chat with us. Today we're going to be talking about protein and how much protein is too much protein. Of course, I personally prefer to go with a ketogenic approach. There are some people that go paleo or something else, but I always recommend a ketogenic approach because it happens to have an extremely therapeutic effect for quite a variety of conditions, including obesity, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disorders. I tend to go with keto as my go-to. But whatever your approach is, how much protein is too much protein? And over in Nancy's group, Keto for Real Life People group, I feel like this microphone is just coming at me. It's driving me crazy. Over in the Keto for Real Life People group, Nancy and Dr. Ken Berry addressed this idea. What is a macro? Which is kind of a newbie question, but I asked it a lot when I first got started. So macronutrients. There are three macronutrients that. Right on. Three macronutrients that you can use for fuel, and those are fat, glucose, and protein. And glucose comes from carbohydrate, and protein, of course, meat. Fat comes from meat, butter, cheese. But you kind of get the idea where protein and fat come from. But a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about where carbohydrate comes from. But what I'm specifically talking about today is protein and how much protein is too much protein. And the generally accepted calculation for people, depending on your activity level, is somewhere between 0.69 grams and 1.0 grams for per pound of lean body mass that you have. So we're depending on you to calculate your lean body mass and then figure out how much protein that is from that. So 0.69 to 1.0 grams of protein per lean pound of body mass. That's the calculation. And I would say that if you're a sedentary person, it's going to be on the 0.69 end of the scale. If you're a fairly strenuously active person, it's going to be on the 1.0 side of the scale. And how you will know is something that I'm going to get into in just a little bit. But before I do, I want to ask you guys, please, if you have not already, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're watching this even on the Facebook side, go over to the YouTube side or on Twitch. And if you're on Twitch, follow me and you'll get notifications when I get live. And you'll get notifications on your phone or whatever when I go live. And if possible, please subscribe. I do have a Prime membership, and Your subscription helps me out. And then as well, if you're a Prime member, that helps you out too. So let's get together and help each other. So if you're watching this on the YouTube side, please click that subscribe button down there, and then make sure you click the bell notification icon. That way you get a notification in your email or on your phone when I go live or when I post a new video. I do have an agenda to start posting daily little quick videos on a simple thought. And I want to write down stuff in a notebook and share with you guys thoughts that I have about keto and about nutrition, about health, about eating real foods and avoiding products, those kind of things. I want to cover a number of topics, but I want to cover them briefly in quick little videos, not lives. And maybe do occasional spontaneous live, but for the most part, I want to stick to doing like real short, quick videos that you guys can just take in real quick. Todd says, I heard that you got a stent, right? I have to go up to RC on Thursday to have it taken out. Oh, you heard that I got a stent? No, I didn't hear that. I heard that you went up there. I didn't hear that you got a stent. But, yeah, I'll be praying for you, bro. They're going to take it out. Are they going to put you on any more medications for that? Hopefully your doctor is kind of accepting of the whole ketogenic approach. There's a lot of people with kidney stones, or they have their gallbladder out, or all these different things, and they say, well, you have to avoid this, or you have gout, or you have uric acid issues, and they tell you have to avoid this or that. Well, I would ask them where the science is for that. So I would ask them what causes that, and if it's inflammation, ketogenic is anti-inflammatory. But it may take a long time to get through, and heal through some things. But listen to your doctor. Hopefully your doctor is friendly to the ketogenic approach, but a lot of doctors are not. Anyway, so also, before I go on to this protein subject some more, I want to remind everybody, I do have a Patreon account. I am doing like an upgrade to my mixer setup. My mixer setup right now, I tried to show you guys, but it's just ridiculous. It's crazy. And I've got like a very scary mess of wires up here that I am really dying to get rid of. And so I got a new mixer coming in the mail. I sold my old synthesizer to pay for it. But, it's going to be upgrades like this that are going to make the stream work better. Things that, anything that I can do. And when I move to a place that has a better internet connection, that's going to even improve it more. But it will also cost money to have a quick internet connection. And I'm asking you guys, if you can, if you have a spare couple dollars to throw, then throw them at my Patreon account, which is over at patreon.com/BroBryce. And I do a number of endeavors. I have like retro computing stuff, and I have how-to videos and cooking videos, and I have a lot of ambitious desires to take on doing these videos full time. But right now, I have to work a part-time job to help support being able to do this for free for everybody. So anything that you can do to help me out is muchly appreciated, and I will gladly give any of the contributors a shout out in one of these videos. You will definitely enter the BroBryceHealth Hall of Fame for contributing. And so onto this protein subject. People who are, for instance, people who have gallstones and have their gallbladder taken out, they're told a lot of times to avoid fat or to avoid protein. And Todd says, I hope not to be on any more meds, but I guess I have some stones in my gallbladder. I have gastritis too. I'm a mess nowadays. Yeah, I would need to look up that gastritis. I used to have irritable bowel syndrome. I had a bunch of gastric issues. They put me on Prilosec OTC, and then they put me on Citracel, because Prilosec, it reduces your stomach acid, and then they put you on the Citracel to help you with the constipation that you get from that. Well, I ended up basically having they just basically canceled each other out, and you end up having all kinds of problems, and you have undigested food entering your bloodstream, and you know, it's just ugly. It's not good, and I'm so glad that I discovered keto, because it just changed that for me, for my life. So happy for that. But anyway, over here on Facebook, I got a couple notifications. I am looking for that. Yeah, any kind of questions that anybody has on Facebook, if they comment on that thread, I will attempt to respond in this video. So, in addition to responding to all of the questions and answers that we have here, but this protein thing. So, like I said, you know, somewhere between 0.69 and 1 gram of protein per lean pound of body mass. I always tell people start out for you know, at least for the first few weeks of keto, do less than 20 grams of carbohydrate. And I am recently converted to the school of thought that you should measure total carbs, except in the case of leafy green vegetables. It's important to me that you guys are able to eat leafy green vegetables if you want to. I am not of the school of thought that they are essential, but I do think that you should be able to eat them if you want to. And I don't think anybody should hate on you for it, but I don't think that they're as essential as anybody made them out to be. If that happens to be where you want your source of vitamins or minerals, you know, calcium or potassium or any of those things, then I think that you should be able to do it. But I don't think that that they're necessarily that essential. But in the case of leafy green vegetables, I say count net carbs. So that means your carbohydrates minus fiber. I do not really buy into the idea of subtracting sugar alcohols or all fiber, because my experience has been that, like for instance, nut flours and things, these are a rabbit trail that you can go down. They can be a trigger for sweets and stuff. But I do think that you should be able to enjoy them if you like them. But don't be surprised if you eat a little too much of that almond flour crust and you're not losing weight anymore. Now, I am no longer on what I consider a weight loss journey, but I am continuing my health journey. BroBryceHealth was always about health, and it was not just about me being a fat slob, as I put it when I first started out the videos. If you watch my first check-in video, I called myself a fat slob, and I think that I was, but I also think I was in a really bad place health-wise and maybe emotionally. I don't think it's wrong to be realistic with yourself about who you are and what you are. And I don't think I was being self-deprecating by saying that. But this journey has been about health. So for me, with health, I do think that you should be able to enjoy some vegetables when you want to. I do think that you should be able to enjoy some ketogenic recipes, you know, maybe some muffins or fathead pizza or something when you want to. But I don't think that you should be living on those things. I don't necessarily think that that's essential, and I don't think that it's something that's required. If you're a person that can get by on bacon and eggs for the rest of your life, dude, rock on. You're going to be fabulous. Anyway, this protein thing, I think that when you go to 0.69 grams of protein per lean pound of body mass, that should really be for an extremely sedentary person. This should be for a person who sits like all day and doesn't do anything with their life. And then 1 gram of carbohydrate or 1 gram of protein per lean pound of body mass should be for a person who is strenuously lifting. And maybe for a person who is doing extreme weightlifting challenges, they might go even just a tiny bit over, like 1.1 or 1.2 grams of protein per lean pound of body mass. Now, there is no calculation that has been scientifically proven to be the essential amount of protein. I want to clarify that. For one thing, I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice, but there's no science anywhere. No scientist has dictated how much protein is too much protein or how much protein is too little protein. We know this: if you don't eat enough protein for your body will lose muscle mass. You will lose healthy tissue. You will. It happens. We also know that if you eat too much, way too much protein, you'll feel sluggish and you'll feel draggy. And so these are signals that I say, listen to your body. Here's how I know when I'm eating too little protein. If I go to lift something heavy one day and my muscles just don't answer the call, they just faint out. And if any of you have done any heavy lifting and you know what this is like, not where you're just not strong enough to do it normally, where your muscles just stop answering the call. You're lifting and you're in the middle of a heavy lift and your muscles just go, nope, sorry, bye. That is when you need to up your protein. And I say, up your protein the day before, this visceral activity. I think that upping your protein the day before will help you the day of when you have that activity to do. And then when you know you're gonna have a day off from that, like whether it be your work, say you're a construction worker, or in my case, I was stocking warehouse shelves. This was heavy lifting, and it was constant, and it was fast, and it was hard, and I did not eat enough protein to fuel me up for the first half of that time period, and then I started upping my protein to meet the demands of it. And guess what? The problem resolved itself, and my muscles responded. I have long, thin, strong muscles that can lift ridiculous amounts of weight, but they weren't answering the calls on the days when I was not eating enough protein. So that's how you know when you're not eating enough. Now, when you are eating too much protein, you will feel the drag. Protein is very satiating. It's even actually more satiating than fat as far as like making you feel full for a long period of time, for a sustaining long period of time. The problem with protein is that if you eat too much of it, you'll kind of get like this crashy feeling, and it'll make you drag. It'll make you sleep too hard. It'll make you not wake up as well. It'll make you feel draggy. If you're getting just enough, somewhere right in the middle of your sweet spot, which you should explore and find that out, then you are going to feel strong and energetic. And you need to listen to your body in all cases, right? Now, eating extra fat, that's going to help you be satisfied. But if you're on a weight loss journey like I was, if you're trying to lose weight, adding extra fat just for the sake of adding extra fat will slow you down, because your body does not care where it gets the fat from. It just wants to take it from the easiest resource possible. And actually, the easiest resource possible is always from the mouth. So if you are eating fat into your mouth, it will take that before it has to rely on the reserves. Why would it bother trying to go to the extra effort of pulling something off of your waistline or off of the back of your shoulder blades or off the back of your, like I had this big fat roll on the back of my head. Why would it bother to do that if it has fat coming into your mouth? Now, as soon as I figured out that, I was on a very steady weight loss journey. So that's important to know. But your protein macro it's kind of important more to listen to your body than it is to listen to any kind of calculator. Those calculators are great. It's a great tool for getting you in the ballpark. You will figure out like what the formula is for having a pretty polished macronutrient ratio. But if you feel like you're a little draggy, you may be eating too much protein. And if you feel like your muscles aren't really pulling the weight that they need to when you're doing those heavy lifts, up your protein a little bit. So you may be getting too little protein then. So that's a great way to listen to your body and take control of your macros. And don't let your macros just be strictly dictated by some website and how much they told you, or some guy like me on a YouTube video. You should listen to your body and take care of it. So it's time for a book giveaway. We have several books here. We got the Wheat Belly hardback, mailing off the softback one to Whitney. Won that last week. So Wheat Belly by William Davis, MD. Lose the wheat, lose the weight, find your path back to health. He talks about all the reasons why you should never eat grain, and I am with him. And he also addresses the issue of omega-6 to 3 ratio and how to straighten that out too with fish oil and not krill oil. And I will do a video on why not krill oil. Why krill oil is just a marketing thing. This is the new Atkins for a New You workbook. This is just a journaling tool here. This is not the diet book. This is a journaling tool where you can write down your food, journal your food, and you can write down how it makes you feel and all this stuff. This is the journaling book. This is by Colette Hemowitz, and I'd recommend this to anybody who really wants to just keep track of what they're eating and how without having to rely on a website to do it. To go with that, I also have the complete book of food counts, and all of these books are, by the way, thrift store finds. They're in reasonably good shape, but you might find some wear and tear, like, this is a little bit curly here. But I will send it to you free of charge, and they are all in reasonably good shape, and the content in them is good. The cool thing that I like about this complete book of food counts is they put everything in here. So you got calories, protein, carbohydrate, fat, cholesterol, sodium, and fiber. Now, a lot of people might say, well, it's listing sodium, so I can avoid sodium. No. This will tell you where a good source of sodium is, because you need more sodium than the American Heart Association has let on. So they cover everything from pasta to ice cream to Dunkin' Donuts, and they even talk about like Mexican food, and they talk about chicken lunch meat and chicken pot pies and cheeses and candies. Everything is covered. So a lot of people will look at this to try to find out where those hidden carbs can come from. And you will be surprised when you first start keto or first start a low carb approach. You're gonna find trouble with certain foods that you have that you didn't know had carbohydrate in them, and there's a ton of it. Like Dr. Berry was talking about his wife Nisha. She discovered that vinaigrette is full of sugar. It's because vinaigrette is basically it's like maple syrup with vinegar in it, basically. So to also go with the Atkins workbook. By the way, you'll get one book. You can choose one book. Just tell me that you're interested. Any of you are eligible, except for I think Whitney. So anybody is eligible. Whitney and Jenna can't enter this week. But new Atkins for a New You is the diet book that transformed Dr. Timothy Noakes' life. It is written by Dr. Eric Westman, Stephen Finney, and Jeff Volek. All of these are keto authorities. These are people who I consider some of my mentors. Now, the Atkins book, because it is the Atkins book itself, is it does focus some on the Atkins products, which I don't ever recommend any kind of keto products of any kind. I say, Just rely on real food, because those keto products, they come and go, they get discontinued and whatnot, but real food doesn't. So you'll always find pork chops on the shelf, but you won't always find an Atkins bar on the shelf because they'll discontinue it. And they also talk about ketosis as being the Atkins advantage. Just call it ketosis. So with those two caveats, and to say that they also talk about reintroducing fruits and whole grains, I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think of grains as being a part of any healthy diet. But I will say this. Eric Westman, Jeff Olek, and Stephen Finney are three of the most trustworthy sources on ketogenic nutrition that you will ever find. And so this book has been able to change a ton of people's lives. I would recommend it to anybody. Just know that you have to keep your eyes focused on the prize. Hey, Todd. Yeah, you totally can. So Todd is getting the workbook. I have your address, Todd, so I will send it to you. Thank you for asking. And that will help you to journal. There's always tools online like MyFitnessPal and stuff like that to track your food, but this is a great tool for helping you actually have something substantial in your hand to hold on to. So yes, Todd, you can have the workbook. Sweet. Congratulations. And I will mail that off to you. I'm going to do all my mailing tomorrow. So those of you who haven't gotten your things, I'm doing all my mailing tomorrow. I'm on a road trip tomorrow. So trust you me, I'm going to send them all off. All right. So we have 5 minutes left. I know you guys have questions, and I'm looking over here on the Facebook at my notifications here. Just see people like comments. Okay. So, yes, any of you guys who have questions. Vicky, if you want to try next week, I already gave away the book for the hour, and that is to Todd. He's getting the workbook. So if you want to get the new Atkins for a New You book, I will send that to you. If you want to try to win it next week, that gives you a reason to come back, I will give it to you free of charge. So I do give away one book each week to the first person who comments that they are interested. So praise the Lord you're interested. And welcome, by the way, to the YouTube channel. And make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the notification icon. You'll get a notification in your email. You'll get a notification on your phone. And if you guys like this stuff and you think that I'm helpful at all, then please help to support this channel and to support the Twitch channel, the YouTube channel, and the Facebook Lives. By helping me out with something in the Patreon department. So I have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/BroBryce. And if you would love to help me out in some way, if you have $1 or $2 to throw my way, that's absolutely fabulous. And I would greatly appreciate it. I'll make sure that you are entered into the BroBryceHealth Hall of Fame, which I will begin posting. I never get the arrows right. Over here on the right side, I'm going to put the BroBryceHealth Hall of Fame over there as far as winners of the books and then contributors to the Patreon. I will put them right over there. And yeah, it is actually working fine, and it is the Facebook Live side that was screwing it up, Jackson. So yeah, I'm sorry to have put you guys through this. Next week I will not be doing the Facebook Live side. It doesn't work very well. Unless I'm only doing Facebook Live, then go figure. But what I'm going to do, what I might do is I might try to do like a Facebook Live thing on the cell phone at the same time while I'm doing the YouTube Live thing. And I'm not sure how well that would work, but then I can re-upload the chat or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to do this all at the same time, and you guys be able to enjoy what's really happening here. So, I love you guys so much, and I thank you for your support and all of the. What time does the chat end? It ends in about 2 minutes, Jackson. Unless I get some like pressing questions or something. But I have a Bible study tonight at 6 o'clock, and it's pushing 5 o'clock now. So I kind of get going between 5 and 6 to get going toward that. But any of you guys, if you have pressing questions, I am more than willing to run long for the sake of trying to help you guys out. If anybody has any pressing questions, I will drag this out. I don't care. It's more important to me to be able to help you than it is for me to make some kind of schedule today, because I don't work on Sundays. And anyway, but I want to thank all of you for coming. And if you're on Twitch, if you're watching this on Twitch, or if you prefer Twitch, everybody has their own preferred flavor of the internet. Nobody likes MySpace though, so we don't do MySpace. Everybody has their own preferred avenue of the internet. And for some people, they used to think that AOL was the internet. It's just a certain flavor of the internet. Jackson, that's a topic for a whole nother conversation outside of this channel. So thank you for asking, and I will respectfully redirect you to another avenue of conversation for that. Anyway, I want to thank you guys all for joining me. It is 5 o'clock, and I'm going to wind this up. And you guys have a wonderful Sunday. I will be back next Sunday at 4 p.m. In the meantime, if you are subscribed to the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel, I'm going to attempt to write down some thoughts, some concepts to share with you guys in very short snippet videos that will basically impart some knowledge and maybe incite some questions for you that are on the topic of health and nutrition, and maybe make you think, and maybe make you think of more questions that are important to you regarding your health. Anyway, thank you for watching. Again, I am Bryce L. Tomlinson. I have the BroBryceHealth.info Facebook group. If you go to BroBryceHealth.info, it'll take you right to the Facebook group. We got recipes, we got food lists, we got all the stuff to get you kick-started in keto. And you can be on this health journey with me and with all the other people who have been helped by ketogenic nutrition. Thank you very much. And you guys have a great day. I'm going to fire up some more of Glenn Case's wonderful music.